All right, so sometimes with knee pain, it can be due to excessive compression in the space that's between the kneecap and the knee joint itself, or the femorotibial joint. So yeah, technically you have two joints in the knee. You have the joint that's between your thigh bone or the femur and your shin bone or the tibia, as well as you have the patellofemoral joint, which is the joint that is encompassed by the or made up by the patella and the femur. So if someone has knee pain, it could be due to one or both of those joints having an issue inside of it. So um, the the patellofemoral joints, sometimes that can cause pain when there's excessive compression of the patella or kneecap against the soft tissues that are between the kneecap and the femur. And a lot of those tissues, or a lot of that space is taken up by these what are called bursa, which are essentially like fluid-filled sacs, and they help reduce friction and allow for a full excursion of movement of that kneecap up and down as you straighten and bend the knee. Now, there's a tiny muscle that I didn't even know existed until after I graduated from PT school. Shout out Gene Scott for teaching me this. There's a tiny little muscle that is located just within like 1 to 3 inches above the kneecap. It's called the Articularis Genu, or Genu Articularis. And what it does, it actually helps move one of the bursa inside the knee up and down to uh, essentially move with the kneecap and prevent excessive friction at the patellofemoral joint. Now, sometimes that muscle can become a little taut and wound up and kind of like won't let go, and it can impact that movement of the bursa, and that can lead to that can lead or assist in the process of that excessive compression of the patellofemoral joint. So to address it, you can use a lacrosse ball to help release that articularis genu. So the way that you're going to do it, so you want to find that articularis genu muscle. So you're going to start at the top of the kneecap, and you're going to use both thumbs to kind of like, you're going to strum side to side as you continue moving up. And what you should feel, if it's an issue, is you might feel quite a bit of tenderness in this area. Once you find that area, that's where you want to have the pressure of the lacrosse ball. So you're actually going to do this you're going to be on your stomach, placing that lacrosse ball against that tender area. And you can kind of like roll the leg back and forth until you find that spot. And once you find it, you're going to keep the leg in that position to maintain pressure against that muscle. And then you're going to slowly bend the knee, going as far as you can, and then slowly straighten the knee, let the toes come back to the ground. There you go, nice and slow, up and down like so for 10 to 20 passes. Once you do that, you can maybe try and find one other spot, maybe a little above or below. Go in and out once you find that tender spot, doing the same thing for another 10 to 20 passes. And if you start losing that tenderness, or if you're really a masochist and you really enjoy that pain, you could try and play around with different leg positions, maybe go up a little bit higher onto your hands to really try and increase that pressure as you do it.